who met the union ministers. Has the Cockroach Janata Party strengthened its bargaining position or made a negotiated settlement more difficult here? Deadlock versus dialogue. Your opinion here, Professor.
See, the Cockroach Janata Party was never interested in any dialogue. They kept on saying that they wanted to talk, but they did not. The talk was not about listening to the other party. The talk was about them speaking out whatever they wanted. They have had their chance to speak out. They have laid out their three big demands. Of those three demands, two have been accepted. One is in the hands of the Prime Minister. It is for the Prime Minister to decide who will be the Education Minister. The Cockroach Janata Party has no role to play in that. For me to say that the Prime Minister should dilute his position merely because a few hundred people at Jantar Mantar are demanding it, that would be very, very unfair, because as I've said earlier also, there are thousands and thousands of young people who don't stand with the Cockroach Janata Party or the demands that they are making or the manner in which they are talking about the problems that happen. Also, please notice that this particular agitation, people autonomously came forward in Patna, in Bombay, in Delhi, in Chandigarh, and these students who were moved enough. This is the kind of thing which had happened at the time of the Mandal Agitation also. This was the same territory in which the Mandal Agitation took place, and the Mandal Agitation attracted people with grave consequences for a large number of them. The thing over here to remember is that these young people are getting so upset with whatever is happening in the mismanagement of these exams. And what are the kind of jobs that they are looking for? They are looking for jobs which are white-collar jobs which don't earn much. And an assistant professor, for example, in Punjab is barely paid, a permanent position assistant professor is barely paid 15,450 rupees till recently. And no allowances, no nothing. A police constable in Punjab used to get 8,000 rupees till the new pay commission came in. Now, these are people who are fighting for, who are putting themselves out on a limb for such less paying jobs. There is a major problem that our education system has not been able to prime students, prime the youth for looking for jobs, looking for work, creating wealth outside of these small-time white-collar jobs. These small-time white-collar jobs are not worth this much of an effort. But somehow the education system, the political system has not been able to convince anyone that there are better things to do in life. Today, for example, being an urban company professional ends up getting more money than a professor in the university does. Or till very recently, before the Uber and Ola system started collapsing, an Uber and Ola taxi driver used to earn a little more than what an assistant professor in Punjab used to earn. Under the circumstances, we have to understand that the government has to move forward. Mr. Modi has offered on in the past, said that the youth have to learn to start creating work rather than looking for service work. However, the government has made no effort. The education system has made no effort in this direction. The NEP, the new education policy, which was introduced a little while ago, that did say that there will be a fourth year in which students will be given practice of work, but that internship system has not succeeded anywhere. And whatever
I absolutely agree. You're making very credible points. You're making very pertinent points in the sense that all these factors have come together, and this is the actual foundation of what we're seeing in Jantar Mantar right now. But not to digress from the deadlock and dialogue that we're talking about today, do you see today's meeting as a genuine conflict resolution, or do you see today's meeting as simply a political effort or a delaying tactic, maybe a delaying tactic by Cockroach Janata Party? But what's your assessment on that front?
See, the government has shown that it has got its ideas in the right place. It has been playing very soft with the Cockroach Janata Party and people who are agitating, because the government does understand, people in politics do understand that the students have a genuine grievance. However, as I said earlier, it's not for the Cockroach Janata Party or those agitators at Jantar Mantar to decide who is going to be the Education Minister of India. And I've earlier said in this program of yours that Dharmendra Pradhan is not responsible for the mess that was going on in his ministry. Ministers are not executive officers. Executive officers are someone else. Ministers merely create policy, provide a bridge between the public and the executive. Having said that, what I
We're
would
also
like
learning, we're also learning, let me point it out and put it on record that I think a major overhaul of the NTA is on the cards. About 47 of those NTA officials have been identified. They're going to be shunted out soon. There's a structural overhaul, a major rejig of the NTA that is also on the card. This is what we're picking up from our sources. I think it's going to be, soon out in the public domain. So when you talk about outreach, you've got Prime Minister's fast-track courts. You've got the cabinet deciding on a 3-month timeline for those culprits to be brought to justice. And what's more is that the Prime Minister is now using what Advocate Manasvi Thapar was talking about, the social media bubble that only included Twitter, only included Facebook, that has now also, included Instagram now with the Prime Minister's late night message, which is also a time where the Gen Z is available on social media, specifically on that very platform. The government has promised fast track courts, it's promised tougher laws, it's promised examination reforms. But do you think, is that enough? Advocate, I'm going to come to you. Is that enough? The government has stretched an olive branch, but is that enough at this point in time to restore the public confidence, to restore quote unquote fixing accountability?
100% not. I think the biggest question which people are going to ask is I remember in 2017, Prime Minister in the Parliament had said, previous Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had this artful thing of having a bath with the raincoat, and he had mastered that art. And similarly, while we are not blaming Dharmendra Pradhan, we have the right to blame the executives and all the other people who are involved in NTA scam. But I feel Dharmendra Pradhan and the ministry and the Prime Minister is equally responsible in terms of taking accountability, taking responsibility, taking resignations. If we questioned UPA in UPA 1, UPA 2 on corruption, why we, the same people of India, can question Dharmendra Pradhan with the same strike? I think we have that right, and we should question Dharmendra Pradhan, and asking resignation is not running away from accountability. In fact, it is fixing accountability. And when Prime Minister, when he was in opposition, while he was the chief of he asked the same kind of questions.
You're saying it's not enough, Advocate, but you've got to start somewhere. And I was just talking about it. I think it's now been corroborated. Let me read that out again for our viewers and help us understand. Major crackdown in the NTA, 47 officials terminated. It seems like more cleanup is going to follow. In a major bid to bring out serious examination reforms, NTA has terminated 47 officials from their service. Legal and criminal actions will also be taken against some of these officials. More reformative actions to follow. Help us decode this, Advocate.
I feel it's a great beginning now, but it is late. I have said it earlier, but at the same time, in politics, it's not about the beginning or the ending. It is mostly about the optics. The optics with the Gen Z and the people and the opposition is not going to go right with this. You have to. Why Dharmendra Pradhan is such a key important position for BJP? But that is the only thing which I understand is they don't want his resignation because of the pressure politics which is happening. Otherwise, they would have been okay with the resignation. In the past, we have seen so many people resign and so many people coming up in BJP, newer faces. And also, before this particular protest, 15 days back, there was a grapevine movement which was happening that there is a change in ministry which is going to happen. So many ministers are going to be shunted. So many new portfolios are going to be added with ministers. New faces are going to be accommodated. And during that particular time, we had seen so many parties merging with NDA, so many MPs joining NDAs while they have been constant in opposition. While that law, which was supposed to be delimitation law, which was supposed to be passed, has suddenly been at the backstage because of this particular protest. So there's so many things which BJP was trying to build up, but suddenly that came to a halt because of particular protest. So having said that, the point here is optics are very important for BJP. It is not just a token resignation. It's about the optics and intent of the BJP. While the crackdown, while the NDA being completely revamped and the negotiation have started, it's a great thing for the country and for the Gen Z. But what about?
But you're saying too little, too late.
And optics of BJP. The optics of BJP is not right for BJP themselves, and that is why the outreach program directly coming from the Prime Minister have started. Yes. And why? Because
Understood. Professor, Advocate here says too little, too late. So I mean, on the Libra scales, how do you weigh it? Too little, too late, or better late than never?
See, let me add to what he said. Mr. Modi, when he came to the office for the first time, had very clearly said that he would be going against corruption. However, over the years, we have seen corruption only increase. At the lower level, the lower staff does not seem to be scared of being caught at all. So, while on the one side there are a handful of people who get arrested, about them we come to know from the newspapers, there is very little information about anyone actually being punished. So, this merely encourages, because in Chandigarh, for example, just recently from two governments, Haryana and Chandigarh, so a handful of people managed to con off about 1,000 crore rupees without anyone being able to check it. So this leaves, as Manaswi Thapar said, this leaves very bad optics. Those bad optics are the ones which are pushing everyone to be very sympathetic to the demands of the CJP. And those are the kind of optics which the Pradhan Mantri will have to deal with. The Pradhan Mantri also needs to ensure that governance improves and visibly improves. It can't be that merely announcements are made and nothing really happens on the ground. However, one of the areas in which the government is very, very good, the Delhi police particularly, is in clearing areas of protesters. So if the dialogue does not happen, or if the dialogue does not result in the CJP protest being taken off in the next few days, I am sure that the Delhi police will step in, and the Delhi police action will result in some harm to a handful of people. And as I said earlier, this will mean that in the end we will say that we decry police brutality, draconian action should not happen, etc. But the harm that would be caused to the individuals would be real-time harm. And I'm slightly worried about that, that should not happen, because these are not issues which require anyone to sacrifice their lives or to be burdened.
Professor,
From it.
Before I wrap up this segment, my question to the both of you, and I'll start with the professor. Professor Lochhan, when JP Nadda says we need time to discuss, what do you think is going to happen behind those, closed doors, those backroom channels? What must be happening when the Cockroach Janata Party says 1 crore rupees is fine, FIRs is fine, Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation is non-negotiable, and JP Nadda and Jitendra Singh say we need some time, we'll get back to you. What must be happening in those back channels?
The CJP leaders are youth. Mr. Wangchuk was a 60-year-old gentleman. Mr. Wangchuk understood that if you allow such protests to continue, that can result in great violence and great harm. Much like I, as an old man, keep on saying, please avoid violence and please avoid harm. Mr. Wangchuk also said effectively the same thing and withdrew his hunger strike. As far as the CJP leaders are concerned, if they do not understand that the way they are going on and they are being persistent about their demands, saying that these are non-negotiable things, then chances are there will be strong state action against them. And that strong state action, the cost will be paid not by these 2 or 3 people who are sitting on the stage. The cost will be paid by the young boys and girls who are in the crowd. And many of those young boys and girls are genuinely concerned about the problems that they face, the problems that the country is facing, and it will be a rather sad kind of a thing to happen.
Fair enough. Understood. Advocate, what do you say? The cost is going to be paid by all those that are there protesting, and I